to the Artist Loft, the talk show for all artists. Join us each show as we spotlight a variety of different creatives, hosted by the Florida Arts Network, with Richard Sosa and Frank A. Ruffolo.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Artist Loft. I am Richard Sosa.
I'm Frank Ruffolo, and we are here at Sunscape in Boca Raton, a assisted living facility, and we're doing a remote podcast at an art show.
An amazing art show. Lots of work here from a lot of different artists. It really is amazing. And we have one of the artists here today. So Athena.
Yes, hello.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your artwork and what you do.
I'm a spiritual artist. I'm also a life coach. I'm part Cherokee and I'm also part Seminole. And great grandma was Greek, so that's where Athena comes in, the Greek goddess name. I discovered a lot of my uniques and techniques through shamanic healing, from different powwows, from our tribe, from great grandma, through the smudging, through aura cleansing, through aura healing, and also yoga. I have to say yoga, and I bring into a lot of art therapy, and I kind of collaborated that. And I seen it was a tremendous amount of a difference through clients, because not a lot of clients knows how to speak out their true feelings and emotions, and it's easier for them to paint it out or draw it.
Yeah, and Athena and I, we've had some talks about some of the stuff that we do, because I am an actor and an acting coach, and a lot of times I help students work through issues through the characters that they develop, and she does it through her artwork, which is really amazing. It just goes to show you how powerful art can be to the soul.
Oh, of course, it's very much healing.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing your artwork?
I've been doing the artwork, I want to say, for about 13 years.
Very good, very good.
Mm-hmm. I've been doing life coaching, I want to say, since about, I was doing that for 13. I want to say about 17 years.
Wow.
Okay, so now,
Very much the more.
quick question. Okay, so like I developed my passion for acting when I was like 5, right? I knew that I wanted to be an actor, right?
Yes.
How did you develop your passion for art, and how did you decide that you wanted to start using art to help people?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. It's actually a very touchy situation, but I'm going to explain it. When my father passed away from swine flu, unexpectedly.
I'm sorry.
Okay, and we liked it painting together, very much so. So it bring a therapy to us to be closer, and then I took that self-healing and I wanted to bring it to others.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, and it's a lot of it is very similar with me, how I realized how I was able to work out some of my issues through imaginary characters. Because, it's now, correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Yes.
But it's kind of like a safe space
It is a
for
safe
somebody.
space, yes.
So if you're doing it either through development of a fictional character or on a canvas, it's you're taking all the stuff that you're trying to work out and you're putting it somewhere else.
Yes.
Like you're internalizing it, but you're not at the same time,
Exactly.
right?
You're painting a picture to what you can't feel, but you could see it for that moment.
Yeah, because a lot of times you can't express into words
No, a lot of people.
what it is that you're feeling. I know that I've been there before, where I'm so overwhelmed with my emotion and stuff like that. It's like trying to verbalize it. Not a chance.
Right, and authors do the same thing. They put all their feelings into their characters. So every character an author writes is a little bit of the author.
Yeah. Yeah. I absolutely believe that.
Yep.
But I think that would be the case for all creatives in general.
Right. They put a little bit of themselves in their work.
Yeah, musicians as well. You know, but so why don't you show us? You brought a couple of your pieces. Why don't you show them to us and tell us a little bit about the different pieces?
This one is the Tree of Life, and it's actually a piece that speaks out to me. You're going through the roots, you're going through the tough times, you're seeing things as dark, you're in the cocoon, you're lost, but on the other side the grass is greener, and you butterfly and you transition, and the changes comes, and the skies look brighter, and you use the crystals to use that energy path, and you use that wiring to energetic it, and you tune into that painting, and you see where you're at and where you're going to be.
So you use the energy of the crystals and you put the energy right into your painting.
Of course.
Fantastic.
And then I transition it myself to Frank for to be stable, to be clarity, for protection, and I have to be the truth for the yin and yang also.
Yeah. So then, like the roots, for example, symbolize you being grounded.
The roots are being grounded, but at the same time they're tangled. It's a biblical message in my roots, actually. They're little people that's saying, like, free me.
Okay.
So it's basically, it's like, it's being toxic, but at the same time it's being released through the pathway. You just have to find it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like if though you're just hidden and lost.
And isn't that always the case? You know,
Always.
trying to find our own way.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's one of the things that I've told a lot of my acting students is that because we talk about human nature, we talk about life, because it's all that's acting is all part of that, right? So art imitates life. Right. So when you're creating characters, you talk about how different people are going to react to different stimuli, you know, and different people will react differently to the same stimuli. And a lot of times, you know, life just starts throwing all kinds of stuff your way, and how you have to kind of be like water, right? So water's moving along, and boom, it comes in contact with a rock. Well, what's water do? It just kind of it goes around the rock, and it keeps going. And so in life, you have to be willing and be able to change direction when necessary.
Of course.
You know, if you're too rigid, you're just going to be miserable. You really are. You're just going to be miserable.
That's what I like about writing, because when I create characters and they interact with each other, I have to write how each character interacts with the other character. So I'm developing two reactions at the same time.
Yeah, and Stephen King, in his book The Craft, talks about writing, and he says that one of the things that he does is he develops his characters, and then he puts his characters in a situation, and he lets them work it out, which is really trippy as a writer. Because you know you're writing and all of a sudden maybe you start laughing at something that one of your characters just said. Well, you just wrote it, right? But you know it's funny how that works.
You get very emotional when you have to eliminate a character as well.
Oh, I know it, and it's funny because I was writing a screenplay for a film that I would love to do called Down Welcome Baby. And I was writing this wedding scene, and the conversation between the dad and the daughter during the daddy-daughter dance, you know, and stuff. And I'm typing, and I'm crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful, you know, and stuff. And I'm like, it's crazy, but that's what art does. That's what art does.
It moves you.
Yeah.
It touches you.
It does.
And it touches people, it touches every person differently.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
One person could see a piece, and 6 or 7 different people could see it so differently.
Yeah, somebody might see this, for example, and they might get a sense of hope, right? Others might look at it and they might think, "Oh my gosh, my life is in turmoil," you know. And so but eventually, they can get to that feeling of hope, and that's just how this stuff works. But you brought another piece as well.
I did. This is actually one of my favorites. And the reason why, because it's called The Void. You're on this path where you're lost and confused. And you feel like you're in circles and you don't know where to go, but you keep feeling sucked in and dried in. But the colors is there to let you know. And the crystals is there to let you know that it's not over. Keep on going. Keep on swimming.
Yeah.
Until you find you. Don't let the void suck you in. Use it for positivity. React with it.
Yeah, and I noticed that in your work, you use a variety of materials.
Yes.
I mean, you don't just do paint on canvas. So
The essence and the minerals are important.
yeah, so tell us a little bit about that.
Tiger's Eye is one of my favorites. That's for protection. That's this crystal here. This one
Here,
is
I'm gonna hold this up for
the
you.
rose quartz is always stability, relationships. I use a lot of amethyst. I have amethyst here. I think the other piece has more amethyst. A lot of tiger's eye on here. And it's for protection, for the void. For you to be able to see where you're at and where you're going, and get those crystals and tune into it and meditate on it and transition yourself.
And how
It's
about
like the feng shui.
the wire? I mean,
Wiring, it's energetics to crystals. So let's say you meditate too long with your canvas and you just feel worn out. You put it out in the sunlight or you put it out underneath the moon and it just rejuvenates itself.
okay,
So it's a feng shui pieces.
gotcha.
Like a lot of people put salt at their front door and they get the shamanic healing with the feathers and the smudges of the sage. That's why I made organic sands for this one. And this has cinnamon for protection. This has Himalayan salt for protection. And it's also made with black pepper for detox. So everything is organic.
Oh wow. And these are things that are good for the body as well.
Of course. Mentally and spiritually.
Okay. Very interesting.
So you have organic art.
Yes. Organic healing art.
Okay. So now, do you have are there any stories that you can share about how maybe some of your art has helped people?
So many different ways. I could go on, but I'll tell you one that touches me the most.
Okay.
And actually, it's very touching to me personally. There's a very good friend of mine's a client, and she came in very broken. She came in very lost, dealing with a narcissist relationship at the time, and fear for her life, and didn't know where to run to or where to go to, and didn't know who to trust, and didn't even know who to talk to. And it was very hard to speak in words. So we started doing art therapy, and then we started doing yoga sessions and breathing techniques. And then I made her an art piece to take it home and transition it, and to change how to release yourself out of that situation.
Okay. So let me ask you then, in the process, do you do the art based on what they're experiencing, or do you show them how to do the art, or is it a combination of the?
It's a little bit of a combination, because I do art therapy where I do let them do their own paintings, where I do let my clients do their own coloring. I let them do their own artwork freestyle, and then they'll come in, they'll bring it to me, and then we'll talk about it. And there's a lot of times I'll paint off of their aura colors, and I'll paint off of their emotions and feelings.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I've heard stories of people having, I don't know, I guess you could call them emotional breakthroughs with finger painting.
Yes.
You know, they're just
Yes.
getting on in there and actually interacting with the paint and the feel of the paint and all this other stuff. So there's truth to that then, I
There
guess.
is truth to that because they're actually releasing a lot of aggression. They're releasing a lot of hurt through that. They're releasing a lot of pain, and they're unlocking a lot of deepest secrets that they need to release and unleash because
Yeah.
they bring on a lot of PTSD later.
Okay, so PTSD.
Yes.
Right? PTSD can be brought on by so many different things.
It's a wily topic, yes.
Yes. When I was young, I knew people that were coming back from the Vietnam War and with PTSD. And I saw this one guy on the 4th of July, people set off like a couple of M80s, which are like these really powerful firecrackers. And without even thinking, boom, he hit the ground, right? And started looking for cover. And he started breaking out in a sweat, and he started panicking, started freaking out. And so in order to help them, I guess you would have to have them talking about their trauma or...
We talk it through it, and at the same time, we do sound healing treatments, which is a vibrational treatment. And it's vibrational waves that seeks through the mind, body, and spirit and releases. And through that, we also do breath work also.
You do what?
Breath work,
Breath
which
work.
is not gasping for air, but teaching clients how to breathe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because different breathing techniques will affect the vagus nerve, which helps with calming and relaxation
Yes.
and all this other stuff. So you do all of that stuff. You don't just have them throwing paint and stones and wire on a canvas.
No.
You have them doing all kinds of stuff.
Yes. Yoga is one of them because it just helps releasing through the body, through the angelic fields. It's just a releasing, and it's an angelic feeling throughout the day to start off. And then I help them work with breath work, and then from there we go into sound healing treatments.
Okay, how's the sound healing? How does that?
That works with the 7 different chakra bowls, which works with the crown chakra, which goes to the third eye chakra, the throat chakra, the heart chakra, the solar plex, the sacral, and the root. So it's activating the meridian system through these sound healing bath treatments to go through a vibrational state.
Which is actually scientific. Tesla did some experiments on how different frequencies actually affect cancer cells. And when you hit the right frequency for the right cancer cell, it can actually blow up the cell. So
The U.S. Navy during the 30s and 40s did frequency testing on cancer cells, and it was almost 90% effective.
yeah, boy, wouldn't that be great? You know, but,
Very much
But of
so.
course, you know where that went.
yeah, and don't get me going on
that.
all that stuff because you know we want to keep it to art. But yeah, so you have the different bowls, and each bowl has like a different frequency.
Different frequency, different sound. It's a therapeutic method of a sound vibrational healing that gets you into a calm mental state mode.
Right. Because each frequency affects the
The
body
body
in a
different way.
Yes.
Yes.
Meditative.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know you're new to the area, so
Yes.
where do we find your artwork?
Right now, I'm opening up a location on 2200 Dixie Highway, but my website should be opened. Our grand opening is in September 1st, and my website is thespiritknows.com.
That's Boca?
I'm in Boca Raton, yes.
Very good.
All right. So thespiritknows.com.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. So, so now, but you employ other things as well. You have like this a huge bag of tricks. I guess you can.
Okay.
I mean, they're not tricks, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
You have a lot of tools at
Yes.
your
A varied
disposal.
portfolio.
A varied portfolio. Yes.
Yes, there we go.
I like that better. I'm going back to my days, when I was a kid watching Felix the Cat, and his bags of tricks. I think I just dated myself.
You did.
I just dated myself. Guys, I watched reruns. I saw these cartoons on the History Channel. I'm not really that old. So
You'll be moving in here real soon.
I know, right? Beautiful facility, by the way. Yeah. All right. So I'm being told we are down to a few minutes here, 5 minutes. And Athena, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us.
Of course, my pleasure.
About what you do.
Of course.
We are the Florida Arts Network, and we want to promote all things art. Right? And today we were talking about how beneficial art can be to the soul, to the spirit, right, and to the body. We have some things coming up. We have a networking event coming up on Wednesday, September 6th, from 6:30 until, I guess...
Until they kick us out.
Until they kick us out, yes. It's a combination networking event and celebrating my birthday, because my birthday is on September 6th. Yes, thank you.
Happy birthday.
Yes, I'm a Virgo, right? So we're having that coming up, and then
That's going to be at the Pompano Hilton rooftop at Pier 6
Pier
Pompano
6
Beach.
rooftop. Yeah, the Hilton Pier 6 rooftop, beautiful venue. We've had several events there, and it's really nice. And they even put a cover that's operated through remote control in case it starts raining. So they give us a nice little section and stuff. So it's really nice. And then
It's a free event, so come on down.
yeah, it's a free event. Come on out. And then in October, we're trying to finalize a date, but it's going to be toward the end of October. We are going to have the Rose Warner Award Show. I guess now's as good a time as any to announce what the category is going to be.
Yeah.
The category for this year is going to be Best Performer in a Music Video. So we're going to start putting the word out. We're going to be looking for nominations, and then once we have the top 5, then there's going to be a second stage of voting, and then we will give the award at the Rose Warner Award Show, where we will have some performances and stuff like this going on. So it's a really fun event. So go to FloridaArtsNetwork.org, and when you go there, you can see all the stuff that we have coming up, some of the stuff that we've done, and we are a 501c3. So if you want to help our cause, bringing the arts to the youth and celebrating the artists that create it, please help us with a tax-deductible gift. We would really appreciate it. All right.
And if you want to help sponsor our podcast, please go to our website, send us an email, and we'll send you details on how you can be a sponsor and advertiser on our show.
That's right. All right. So, Athena, any final words before we go?
It was a pleasure being here today. And the art show is amazing with amazing people and artists and so much vibrant energy.
Well,
Yes.
you're amazing yourself.
Thank you so much, Frank.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time.
Take care.
Thank you for watching The Artist Loft. Make sure to tune in next time for another great show. A show that was produced by Ant Media Productions and hosted by the Florida Arts Network with your hosts Richard Sosa and Frank A. Ruffolo.